Hey guys, we're live in Miami. We've got the first ever presidential candidate to sign the Progressive Pledge. Marianne Williamson's here. All right, and she took time out from preparing for the debate to come out here and talk to the TYT Army and to talk to all you guys watching live. So without further ado, presidential candidate Marianne Williamson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Cenk. Thank you to all of the people at the Young Turks. Thank you to all of you. This is a very exciting thing that's happening. And I feel as a woman who is, well, I'm 66 years old, and I feel like part of what happens when you age is you're sort of the keeper of the story. And I want to tell you something about Ronald Reagan that you might not know. There was a time when Ronald Reagan was considered too conservative to ever be elected president. But this is one thing about the Republicans that you have to say about them, one thing you have to say about the conservatives. If you don't like what they say, they just say it again. And too many times, those of us on the left side of the political spectrum, somebody would say, oh, you're going too far, so people scurry back and they get more moderate. What's so important about Cenk, what's so important about all the progressive candidates is we say it, and if you don't like it, we say it again. And that's what's causing such progressive resonance in the country today, is because we're unapologetic about what we believe. We don't want to compromise with certain principles. Enough with the incremental change. Enough with the incremental change, because as Martin Luther King said, when you just make incremental change, the status quo co-opts the changes. We know what we want, and we're not compromising. We want to get the money out of politics. We recognize and we want to get the money out of politics because we realize it represents a serious corruption of our democracy. We recognize, as Louis Brandeis, the late Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said, you can have large amounts of money concentrated in the hands of a very few, or, he said, you can have democracy. You cannot have both. Wealth inequality is not just unjust. It represents an erosion of our democracy. So we stand firm. We stand firm about getting money out of politics. We stand firm about repealing that 2017 tax cut. We stand firm about the $15 an hour minimum wage. We stand firm about free colleges and state universities and colleges. And we stand firm about getting rid of that college loan debt. We will not compromise. And at the end of the day, what matters most is that it be a progressive who is the nominee. It should be a real progressive who is the nominee, because the real progressive is what will defeat Donald Trump. Because at the deepest level, progressive values are the most democratic values. And what I believe in, I believe the greatest power is the love in our hearts, but there is no love where there is no justice. We must stand for justice. We must stand for economic justice. We must stand for social justice. We must stand for political justice. This is a time in our history where we need to do more than believe in those things. This is a time when we must stand for those things as much as any generation has ever had to before. So this is so exciting. I always say to Cenk every time I see him, thank you for what you've taught me. I'm so grateful to the Young Turks for the platform that I have received. We are in there together. And this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of what this all means. And we're going to be there, and we're going to defeat Donald Trump, and we're not going to end then. We have only just begun. We are going to return this country to the values on which we are purport to stand, the values of liberty, the values of freedom, the values of justice, and for all. And the difference between progressives and some other people is we really mean it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.